In the top stories, Sir K. Dwight Venner passes away at age 70. Prime Minister Harris reflects on the contributions of Sir K. Dwight Venner. And 8 vehicles donated to the St. Kitts Nevis Defence Force. The details on these stories and more after the break. Hello and welcome to the ZIZ Channel 5 newscast. I'm CALYPSO. Former Governor General of the Eastern Caribbean Central Bank, Sir Kenneth Dwight Vincent Venner, KBE SLC, died on Thursday, December 22nd in St. Lucia. According to information, Venner, who resided in St. Kitts and served the ECCB for over 20 years, passed away at Tapion Hospital Thursday night. After 26 years of dedicated service to the ECCB, Sir Kenneth Dwight Vincent Venner announced in December his move to retire from the St. Kitts and Nevis-based institution. Sir Venner, KBE SLC, leaves his wife Linda Venner and their 7 children. He was 70 years old. Prime Minister Dr. the Honorable Timothy Harris has expressed condolences to the family of the late Sir Kenneth Dwight Vincent Venner. He paid tribute while on tour of the Pirates Nest Hotel and Condominium project early on Friday.
Earlier today I learned of the passing of Sir Dwight Venner. Sir Dwight Venner has had a long and distinguished career as the Governor of the Eastern Caribbean Central Bank. Indeed, he was the longest serving Governor of the bank. In that regard, he made some enduring contributions to the bank, began significant reforms which will continue and redound to the benefit of the currency union long after his mortal remains will be interred.
Prime Minister Harris said that Sir Venner's passing is quite a loss for the Eastern Caribbean Currency Union.
We are deeply appreciative of his contribution, the fact that he presided over stability of the currency union, made our currency one of the strongest in the world in terms of its stability and its backing by US foreign currency. And so he will be and is a major loss to the currency union as an academic, an integrationist, one who labored hard in the vineyard of the economic development of our small islands.
Sir Venner dedicated 26 years of his life to serving the Eastern Caribbean Central Bank before his resignation in December 2015. Sir Kenneth Dwight Vincent Venner died on Thursday, December 22nd in St. Lucia. Several institutions have offered their condolences to the family of the late Sir K. Dwight Venner. Governor of the Eastern Caribbean Central Bank, Timothy Antoine, has been quoted as saying Sir Dwight was a visionary, a regionalist and a public servant par excellence. He had a deep and abiding love for the people of the Caribbean. He truly believed that we are our best selves and secure our best development outcomes when we come together and take collective action. He dedicated his life to our region. And a statement from the University of the West Indies Open Campus referred to Sir Venner as a regional giant whose passion, dedication and commitment to the development of the people of the region were legendary. Sir Dwight served as the first chairman of the newly formed Open Campus from 2008 until the time of his passing on Thursday. The St. Kitts Nevis Defence Force has received a significant boost from the Republic of China, Taiwan, following the donation of 8 vehicles on Friday. More in this report.
Government ministers and Defense Force officials were among those present at Camp Springfield for an official ceremony to hand over 8 vehicles comprising pickup trucks of various sizes. During the ceremony, Defense Force Commander Lieutenant Colonel Patrick Wallace noted that they would help the force in numerous situations.
Because these vehicles will not be used solely for patrols or military duties. But in the event of a disaster, that they'll be used to move around needed supplies and also persons who may have to be evacuated from affected areas.
Resident Taiwanese ambassador His Excellency George Gaowei Chu said his country was pleased to offer the vehicles as support for national security, but their contribution would go beyond that.
The providing of the vehicles is not the only part of my embassy. Would like to present the support to all of you. We also encourage the personnel exchange between the St. Kitts and Nevis and National Defense Force and Taiwan.
Prime Minister Dr. the Honorable Timothy Harris thanked Taiwan for their generosity and noted that it is part of the long-standing friendship between both countries.
Taiwan was the first country with which we developed diplomatic relations and after the attainment of independence on 19th September. We have come on December 23rd significantly to reinforce that cooperation, to reinforce the commitment to ensuring that our country is a law-abiding country and our country has the security apparatus, the security infrastructure to reinforce itself as a nation state.
The vehicles are worth over $800,000. Jason Davis for ZIZ News.
After the break, Prime Minister Harris pleased with the progress at Pirates Nest, and government officials bring Christmas cheer to the Mary Charles Hospital. We'll tell you more when we come back. Prime Minister Dr. the Honorable Timothy Harris says he is pleased with the pace of development taking place at the Pirates Nest Hotel and Condominium Project. Pirates Nest, being undertaken by T-Loft Property Development, is an approved real estate project under the Citizenship by Investment Program and will feature 41 condominium units in 6 independent buildings. Speaking during a tour of one of the completed units, Prime Minister Harris said they are looking forward to the opening of the first phase of the development in the latter part of 2017.
Last time we were here, there were some commitments made, and we are satisfied that there is genuine movement. The rooms are basically, at least this one, completed, and so we have a clearer perspective as to what those to come would look like. We have seen both activities being undertaken externally and internally, and we are satisfied that the project is moving apace, that we can have some form of opening in the latter part of next year, representing phase 1.
The Prime Minister said the project, coupled with other hotel developments presently taking place in St. Kitts and several capital projects slated to begin in the new year, are clear indications of the strong investor confidence in St. Kitts and Nevis's economy. Accompanying Prime Minister Harris on the tour was the CEO of the St. Kitts and Nevis Citizenship by Investment Unit, Les Khan, who said interest in this particular development is being felt as far away as China. The first phase of the Pirates Nest Hotel and Condominium project will see the completion of the clubhouse, which includes the reception area and 170 rooms. It is expected to be completed by the third quarter of 2017, while the second phase should be completed by the first quarter of 2018. The Mary Charles Hospital in Molineux held its Christmas program on Thursday under the theme One Christmas Morn. The project was attended by several government officials from the Ministry of Health, including Minister of Health Honorable Eugene Hamilton, Minister of State with responsibility for health Honorable Wendy Phipps, and Chief Medical Officer Dr. Hazel Laws. In giving the feature address, Prime Minister Dr. the Honorable Timothy Harris reflected on the Christmas season, highlighting its universal nature.
This is the season of Christmas. It is supposed to be one of the more joyous ones among all nations of the world that share in common a belief in the Christian faith. And though on one hand, some of the celebrations have become commercialized, the true meaning of Christmas still is there. Whether we want to feel it or not, the meaning of Christmas is still there.
Minister Phipps said that the Ministry of Health, perhaps more than any other ministry, gives an opportunity to show Christ to the rest of the world in terms of the care given to patients.
What you might think is a simple job that you'd come in and day out, day after day and do, might be simple in your eyes, but maybe the way in which you render that job, the service that you carry out, might be the only opportunity for Christ that somebody sees. Because perhaps maybe it's only when they're in a place like this, the hospital or a health center, you get to see what compassion is all about.
The program included several renditions from the staff of the Keon, Tabernacle and Molyneux Health Centers and the Mary Charles Hospital. After the program, the health officials and Prime Minister Harris visited the patients at the hospital, delivering gifts along the way. 11-year-old Tehran Invincible Webb of Nevis is the back-to-back champion of the primary school's CALYPSO competition. Webb won the competition with his song As the World Turns, amassing a total of 429 points on Thursday evening. Mackey's Mighty J. Washington placed first runner-up with his song The Good Son, amassing a total of 334 points. With her song A Hero I Must Be, Jeshaya Lady Shaya Donovan took the second runner-up position with a score of 333 points, while the third runner-up position went to Divonique Divi Liberd, who scored 319 points with her song Revival Party. Other competitors were Zequan Mighty Z. McDonald and Kimberly Empress Case Michael. The primary school's CALYPSO competition was held at the Sugar Mass Village around the circus in downtown Basse-Terre. And shortly after the completion of the primary school's CALYPSO competition, members of the public were treated to the sounds of traditional steel pan music at the 2016 steel pan competition. Keon Fantastics emerged as the 2016-2017 steel pan competition winners, amassing a total of 330 points. They were closely followed by last year's winners, EBJ Harmonics, who placed second with a total of 320 points, while third place went to the Nevis Pan Ensemble, totaling 282 points. The other competitors included Silver Star Steel Orchestra and Sweet Sticks Ensemble. All steel pans were judged based on the test piece Hurrah Mass by CALYPSO icon Star Shield. The Sugar Mass 45 activities continue with a fashion show and the National Swimwear Body Painting segment at the Sugar Mill at 8 p.m. Coming up, Guyana Police Force growing with the addition of new recruits. The details when we come back. And 48 rankings have been added to the Guyana Police Force. HGP's Javon Vickery has the details.
Commissioner of Police Sila Prasad told the 248 new ranks, 48 of which are females, that a job in law enforcement does not legally present the opportunity for police officers to become rich overnight. He cautioned the officers to resist temptation which might present itself during their career in the force. The Guyana Police Force this year recruited close to 700 ranks. There is still a need for more than 1,000 additional ranks to fill the capacity of the force. In 2016, the force reportedly sent home 21 ranks for unprofessional conduct and criminal acts, including illegal possession of firearms.
Policing is a career. It is not one of those get-rich-quick jobs. It provides for you security of tenure, meaning that once you work professionally, you're guaranteed to work until you're at the age of 55. So, there is security of tenure.
Commissioner Prasad charged the new officers to uphold the oath of the Guyana Police Force, which is to protect, respect, and serve the nation. He further urged the ranks to use their sense of discretion when dealing with complaints and cases they will handle.
Cause you to draw on all of your faculties. You will be confronted by various situations, and even though the offense you might be treated with might be the same as the one you treat with before, the circumstances may be entirely different, and therefore the same application may not be the best thing.
Several ranks were also awarded with trophies for their performances during the 4-month-long training course. The new recruits were trained at the Felix Austin Police College in Georgetown, the Police Training College in Essequibo, and the Training School in Berbice and the Presidential Guard. Javon Vickery, HGP 19.
Coming up, some good news for the fight against Ebola. The details when we return. Good news for the fight against the ongoing Ebola epidemic. An experimental vaccine against the Ebola virus was found to be 100% effective, according to a study published in The Lancet on Thursday. The results offer hope of better protection against the disease that ravaged West Africa in 2014, killing more than 11,000 people.
According to a study published in The Lancet Thursday, an experimental vaccine against the Ebola virus was found to be 100% effective. CNN reports the results offer hope of better protection against the disease that ravaged West Africa in 2014, killing more than 11,000 people. Ebola was first discovered in 1976, and before the 2014 outbreak, it typically hit isolated African communities. Those outbreaks were much more manageable for medical teams to parachute in and treat patients. But the virus reached cities in 2014, spreading like wildfire and catching the global health community off guard. Ebola is highly contagious once patients are symptomatic. So as families and close-knit communities try to care for sick loved ones, they risk the infection. The vaccine is being fast-tracked by U.S. and European regulatory agencies. Pharmaceutical company Merck has promised to ensure that 300,000 doses of the vaccine will be available in case of a new Ebola flare-up. It will submit the vaccine for licensing by the close of 2017.
Up next in sports, Russian athletes to be disciplined for doping charges, and midfielder Joey Barton charged for misconduct. Stay tuned. Eight Russian competitors faced disciplinary proceedings after their urine samples from the 2015 Winter Olympics were allegedly manipulated. The samples were highlighted in the McLaren report, which outlined a state-sponsored doping program in Russia between 2011 and 2015. Now the International Olympic Committee is reanalyzing the samples, which it warns could lead to sanctions. The Russian city of Sochi hosted the 2014 Winter Olympics. According to McLaren's report, which was commissioned by the World Anti-Doping Agency, WADA, salt and coffee were used to manipulate Russian samples, and there were also cases of female ice hockey players having male urine samples. Burnley's Joey Barton has been charged with misconduct with the Football Association, claiming the midfielder placed 1,260 bets in the past 10 years. The FA says he broke rules by betting on football matches or competitions between 26 March 2006 and 13 May 2016. Barton, 34, is set to rejoin Burnley in January, having left Scottish Premiership side Rangers in November. In the same month, he was given a one-match ban for breaking Scottish Football Association rules on gambling. Barton admitted the Scottish FA charge of placing 44 bets between 1st July and 15 September while he was a player at Ibrox, and his suspension will carry over into his Burnley career. Seahawks quarterback Russell Wilson has become Santa Claus to the entire Seahawks team, and whether his team has been naughty or nice, he got some seriously awesome presents to go around.
Seahawks quarterback Russell Wilson is feeling festive this year as the football player went all out on Christmas gifts for his team. On Thursday morning, Wilson took to Snapchat to document his gift giving, which was out of this world. For each player, coach, trainer, and staff member, Wilson gifted 2 first-class tickets to anywhere in the world on Alaska Airlines. Then, as a special treat for the offensive line, he additionally gave them all Samsung big screen TVs.
When we come back, we'll have another look at the stories that made the headlines. Recapping the top stories, Sir K. Dwight Venner passes away at age 70. Prime Minister Harris reflects on the contributions of Sir K. Dwight Venner, and 8 vehicles donated to the St. Kitts Nevis Defense Force. And that's the end of the ZIZ Channel 5 newscast. Thank you for joining us. I'm Carla Verage. Goodbye.